Welcome back to another episode of Aunt and Andrew, where family's everything.
Until it's not. Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Aunt. I'm happy I knew your name,
Oh, with Aunt and with family's and I'm Aunt.
and I'm Andrew.
Okay, did I kind of missed that part, didn't
It
I?
doesn't matter. Well,
It's
before we get started,
okay.
let's
I'm
remind
gonna
you
say
to follow us on Instagram, like our
at
photos,
Aunt
and
and Andrew
Aunt and Andrew, and subscribe to this channel right now.
and
Like
leave
this
me a
video that you're
message.
watching right now, too. Like, come on, like it. Just go and like it. Now, I know a bunch of you aren't gonna because I'm saying that, but it would be really great if you
Just to
did.
spite us. How about
Follow.
like it for me, not for Andrew? Let's see. We should
Either
do one
or.
episode where I say, if you prefer me, give me a like. And then at the next time we see you, if you like Andrew, give him a like.
Or a
So this is
comment.
going to be mine. If you like me, Aunt, give me a thumbs up, not Andrew. If you don't do a thumbs down, because I
Okay,
think that's
we're gonna get
bad. But
into Beverly Hills because I'm just
anyways, I
as
know,
usual.
I know, I know. Erica had COVID. Well, you know what that is? The best excuse ever for not having to do anything. Just a PSA to everybody out there. If you don't want to do something, go, I tested positive. Nobody will even ask for what. They don't care. Don't even say you got COVID. Just go, I tested positive. They don't care. They just
The
don't want to see
problem
you.
is, though, you need to remember what you have going on in the next 5 days.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you just don't want to show up, go, I got COVID. And
Or
then
you
you
gotta
don't
then
have.
be like, I tested, it was negative, but I still think there might be something wrong. So I'm gonna test in another 3 or 4 hours when the thing is over.
Oh, there you go. Isn't this
Yeah.
terrible? Terrible, terrible. Well, you know what? Sutton was so happy that she was going to go on a second date with Steve, and he's
I
been
liked him a
texting
lot,
her.
but he was way too good of an actor because he probably was an actor.
Of course, he was an actor.
However, if you're out there, Steve, Steves don't do great on Bravo. Steve Lodge, who else? Maybe that's the only one.
How are you talking about Vicky's guy?
Yeah. Anyhow,
Steve's.
stay away from the
Steve's.
show, Steve. Sutton shouldn't have a relationship on TV either. She's already gives us Avi, and we love our
I
Av.
know Avi was on break.
What do you mean?
He wasn't there this week. He was on
I know.
vacation. She was talking to him like FaceTime in.
Either that or he's going to Colombia to get his gastric bypass or something.
Oh, maybe he was going for a little
What would
nip
you
and
do if
tuck.
Avi showed up with like a nip and tuck?
I'd say good for you, Avi.
Yeah, I do. I would too. I
I
give
don't
Avi
think
a lot
he'd
of
go to
credit.
Columbia. I think he would have it done somewhere in Beverly Hills. I don't
Probably.
think that that's such a like a bougie thing to do to go to Columbia for your plastic surgery. They're kind of fabulous. I think they
Bougie?
would, yeah, a
I think
little
it's
bit.
cheap.
That's what I mean. I mean, I'm just saying, bougie
Oh.
is kind of like,
Oh, you mean
uh,
like flashy, like
I think that's
yeah,
something
yeah, I
that,
hear you.
yeah,
I
yeah. I
mean,
just think that if you have money of any kind, and I would think Avi would want you to think he had some, even if he didn't, you would he would have his nip and tuck in Beverly Hills, and he probably knows people
how much of Garcelle just impresses me all the
all
time.
the time.
Even when she was talking to Sutton about Dorit's lack of conversation around what happened
Right.
with the attacking comment, she still didn't make Dorit look horrible. She didn't like I didn't feel like she was like making a white person feel uncomfortable.
True.
And I think that is just such a gift. I also, again, it's not just about like race conversations. I think I wish I had that with like when I hear people like saying inappropriate things about being gay or somebody being gay. It's so powerful when you can like make shady comments a little bit or like say something, but not let it like weigh you down and not like have to be like tit for tat, but instead just kind of like
Rise
Garcelle
above
does
it.
it.
She
She
rises above it.
she does, but she doesn't really. She makes sure she that she
I
knows.
think
Like
she addresses it, but she rises above it. She does it in such a classy manner.
she does, but it's also shady and it's also like it impactful. Like it impacts people. Like I
Yeah.
don't think Dorit, but I will say like I think Kyle probably will say that that conversation really changed her from seasons ago. Because it was
Yes, I
something that
agree.
like when
Hmm.
you like I think that's the one thing that we always get wrong even with all types of like lived experience problems in our world is that we assume the other person knows how it feels.
No,
And
they
if you
don't.
don't tell people, then how do you know? And I think Garcelle's very good where like in today's woke society, she doesn't have to explain it really because it's
True.
it's out there. It could just be like, you
Right.
don't say that to a black woman.
Well, she's great with her kids too.
She is. She really, I feel like she understands that she can do more with educating people and making them feel like, listen, I don't
I
know
believe
everything
she
about you.
understands her platform.
Yes. And it's like she'd rather change people than alienate people. Like she'd
Well,
rather show people,
there's so much more power in that.
oh yeah,
But a lot of people
not
don't
everyone.
realize that,
Thank you. That's what I mean.
unfortunately. Now, they went to the vineyard because we have to talk about a couple of things that happened at the vineyard.
Okay.
First of all, what happened to the woman who had to walk out on Magic Mike is suddenly licking toes,
Mm-hmm.
and then she's licking a Dorit. And then are we going to talk about Dorit and Kyle scissoring? I mean, did
That's
Kyle just
why
give it all away?
I don't
I
think
mean,
I don't think
hello.
I
Oh
don't think
my
Kyle.
God. Of course they're together. What's wrong with you? They fed each other at the party.
I think it's all an act.
I don't. They are definitely an act.
Listen, all
She's
I have to tell you is this.
simulating
If
sex on
it's
the
not,
ground with Dorit
if
couldn't
it's
handle it. It
not,
was out of her, it was out of
if
her
it's
wheelhouse.
not, if it's not, if it's not
If it's not what?
real, if it's not real, I'm going to tell you why you think it's real and why it's not. These
Okay.
women film for 5 hours. Excuse me. These women film for like 3 or 4 hours at a time, and then you see a 5 minute scene.
Right. I
So at
get
the end
that.
of the day, what you see, everything you see happen, there's tons that we don't see. Now, what the reason why what you see is important is because it has to make sense to the storyline. It has to connect with something. It has to have continuity.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's part of the
If not,
story.
it sticks
Right.
out like
These
a
are
sore
modern
thumb.
day soap operas. Got it.
So all I'm saying is this, is that the language right now is this idea that Kyle and Mauricio are not on in a good place.
Right. He didn't
And
show up
now
to
we're
the
seeing this
benefit.
undertone that Kyle may like women. This is a storyline.
Kyle point blank
Wait,
said, would
let me
you
finish.
date a
This
woman?
is yes, but this is part of, you have to understand something. Not everyone has a podcast the day after the episodes that comes out to dissect it and takes notes like you and I do. Some people are watching along and they're trying, there's like strategy based on like the production and the wives, that the women that they want people to think something's going in a certain direction. They want all that. Like that's something that they really, really, really want. Sometimes it happens. Other times it gets you to a place and then it's like, no. And I have a feeling that what I still go back to what I said from day one. Kyle is friendly with Morgan Wade. Yes. I think Kyle, it's weird to me that her sisters like Morgan. They like her music. It's weird to me that Kyle has such an invested effort in her music. And all I'm saying is that Kyle Richards Umansky is a smart woman. And
I don't
don't
know.
be surprised if you swing and a miss and you strike out with this idea that she and Morgan are a thing, but instead
I don't believe
that
that.
Kyle leaned on Morgan when she's been going through this with Mauricio, and that Kyle is bringing Morgan on the show to elevate her music. Because let me tell you something, she's good. I don't
Yeah,
like
she's good,
country.
but I'm going to tell you something. I have never sat there and watched a friend play and go,
I
I
know,
have
but
to,
that's
I
part of
have
the
to listen.
gimmick.
Oh, I'm in the middle of running this, and I'm in the middle of preparing for
Okay, but
this
if she is a lesbian, let her be one. I
event.
just don't think she is.
I definitely think she was. Listen, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she's scissoring on the ground with Dorit. And Dorit like didn't know what to do, but Kyle did. And then even Garcelle talked about her little swim in the lady pond and everything.
I know that you don't have one of those stories, Auntie, but a
Right.
lot of people do.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it came out of nowhere. We have seen Kyle Richards on this show for 10, 12 years. And we've never seen that before. Before she was just doing splits. Now she's doing splits on chicks.
I
I
don't
don't
know. I
know.
would
I'm
watch
just
back.
saying.
I don't think that she's as conservative as you think. I think that you're seeing it now. And they are showing it more, but I think that these women are have
I
always
don't think she's as conservative because I've always thought that there's
Teresa and Melissa used to touch each other's boobs on trips in bed laying together.
Oh yeah, well they all do that. I
What
mean,
I'm
they
saying
all
is
like,
like
let me feel yours, I'll feel yours,
I
I'll
don't
feel
know.
yours.
I didn't
I
find
will
the
still
same.
gonna say I'll be shocked if they haven't tested the waters. How's that?
Okay.
How's that? Would you go with that they might have tested the waters?
Maybe. Yeah,
They
maybe.
put their toe in to see what the temperature was of the
Yeah.
water. There's something going on there. I don't care. Let's go to PK and Dorit. I think PK's checked out. I hate to say it. I think PK might have somebody in England.
I don't think so, but I will say this. I don't know how we find a solution here, but I've talked to you about this, about other things that we've talked about outside of Housewives, but even maybe about Housewives. This like trend that people can just use mental health,
Oh, as an
PTSD
excuse?
as an like it's not as an excuse. I just feel
Well, if she didn't have
I
that, what
talk
else
about
would
my
she
here.
have?
Here's a good example. I talk about my recovery, like my addiction, all the
Yeah.
time, whether it's
Okay.
good, bad, or indifferent.
Okay.
Like in the sense that like sometimes I might say it and it may not even be something I should say, or like it has no meaning, or it could be
Okay.
anything.
All right. Get to the
And
point.
then other times I use it appropriately and it's not an excuse, but it's a justification for why I might have done something or reasoning around why something happened the way it did. Now, the point there is that I talk about it all the time. I think one thing we don't really know is that I don't see, again, we see so much footage, we see just a small
You've
cut of
said
what we
nothing. Get to the point.
oh, now I'm giving you a glimpse into what happens with you. Dorit, we see just a small like part of who she is and what she's doing and how she's acting. I'd like to know, like, if I was Dorit's, like if I was the therapist, I'd be like, well, how often are you talking about the robbery? Because here's my thing is if like going to a place she's never been to before, not knowing how many people are going to be there with people that she might have some drama with, I could see how that might trigger her. But here's the deal, just don't go.
Well, no,
Don't talk
she's
about
not
it,
going to
don't
not
go.
go. I
Well,
would like to, would be a better question is how many things is she going to when they don't film?
and is
That's a
she
better
saying that
question
as well?
because right now she's in the West End, playing the Little Mermaid in um London or some
She's on Broadway?
no, the West End. It's in England.
Yeah, but she's playing in the musical.
I believe so. I saw pictures of her with her little fins and everything. Yes, you can look it up.
PK must have done a 2-for-1 special because Boy George is starting in Moulin Rouge.
Well, I'm just saying that I saw her with fins.
And let me tell you something. I can't wait to see if Boy George can do the track
I know you said
for
that.
Harold Ziegler
You've
because
been
he's gonna be
saying
running
that.
around.
Well, maybe
I
he's
can't
going to
wait
get
to
in
see Boy
shape.
George like do a little speed
Tell
walking.
me, I loved when PK said he's going to go get the door and then he stopped and had a slice of
Oh
pizza.
my God, it's great. Can
I
I say
thought that
something?
is so good. That was
Can I say something?
hysterical.
You know who it reminded me of?
Oh,
Maybe,
no.
maybe your husband.
Why would he do that?
He probably would have grabbed it and ate it before he got to the door, but not stopped walking. Like he would have grabbed it as a snack. PK truly stopped, made the
Stopped,
lady
had a
wait.
slice,
I
and
think that
made her
my
wait. And
dad
she's
and
like,
your
but I
husband,
think
my dad and your
that was
husband
funny. I thought
both
that was
would have
one of the
grabbed the
funnier
pizza,
things.
but they maybe wouldn't have stopped. No, they maybe would have opened the
So
door and then
funny.
grabbed the pizza when the person walked. I don't know. But it's not uncommon. I think what was uncommon is that he truly stopped.
He
Like he didn't care
stopped.
that
I
she was
thought
at the
it was
door.
so funny. I loved it actually. I did. And you know what else? Speaking of food, I loved that Jade had to have a bowl of cereal when the lasagna was going to be done in 5 minutes. It was such a 15-year-old boy thing.
But can
Like
I
you're
ask
in
you something,
what?
Garcelle?
Yeah.
That lasagna looked like you made it in about 3 seconds. There was no layering, there was no
Maybe
symmetry.
it was a LA version of a California.
Lazy man lasagna.
Maybe they make them different where
My
she's
mother once
from.
made spaghetti pie and it was terrible.
Was it
Okay.
terrible?
It was horrible. And you
I
know
got
what's so
something in
funny?
my
So
eye.
we're all eating it, all eating it. And then there's leftover. My mom goes, I'm gonna freeze it. And we all were like,
Oh,
no, it was bad when you made it fresh. Like, why are you gonna save
it's
it?
only going to be worse, right?
Yeah.
Now, what
So
did you
it's
think of the well, first of all, we didn't talk about how all of a sudden Sutton was sexual. I mean, and she's licking toes and everything. That was just disgusting. Like disgusting. Like I guess she must have thought, "Oh, I really came off so whatever." And now all of a sudden she's
I mean,
being a
we have
little
to
toe
call it what it
sucker.
is.
Huh?
I think that what got Sutton really uncomfortable at Magic Mike, and I think she didn't want to like get into a fight with Erica, but it was the guy putting his face on Erica's manana. That
Yeah,
was the issue.
Chuny. Yeah. Oh, anyways,
That
I
was the
don't know.
issue. Now, I don't know why Sutton didn't just say that, but I think it's because she didn't want to have an issue with
Got
Erica.
something in my eye. Yeah,
I bet
it's
she told,
distracting me.
I bet she told Crystal Kung Minkoff that though behind the scenes.
Maybe. She's kind of like not even around, is she, Crystal?
Crystal had dinner the other night with Zoe Deschanel and one of the Property brothers.
Oh,
They're
yeah, they're
married.
married in real life.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jonathan or the other one. What's
Scott
their name?
or whatever. Yeah, Scott's.
John. Yeah, Scott. Property Brothers.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
it wasn't very it wasn't much that
Teddy
went on.
showed up.
Oh yeah, Teddy's fun.
She's
Teddy's
a
a good time
gnat.
gal.
I love they called
Did
her a gnat.
Well, let's throw a little I love how she said that, right? Yeah, that was so funny in front of
I'm a
Garcelle.
gnat. I'm a gnat. She like owned it.
Teddy's great
But
like
I
that, but I
can't stand Teddy either. I'll be
you
honest
don't
with
like
you.
her?
No, I don't like Teddy.
Okay, well, Teddy, I'm telling you something. If
I
not this
don't mind
upcoming
her on
season,
Tamara and Teddy, like the two T's in a pod. I don't mind them.
they have Emily
Her.
now. They're the Trace Amigas
Oh
part
yeah,
two.
well that's a whole big
Let me tell you
drama.
something. What's her name? Has a full-time offer to come on the show.
Yes, I know. Alexis Bellino is going to be on the Real Housewives of Orange County,
Did
and it
she
should
say
be.
yes?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, of course she is. Yes, the way she's flaunting John all over the
Can you
place.
imagine this? This is just everyone in this is the thing that we are witnessing now is that like and I don't know if we'll ever know the breadth of it or the depth of
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Vanderpump Rules did us all
A
such
favor.
a
Yeah.
favor
Yeah.
because now people are either thinking about this and then going on a show like Monica did and sabotaging the women,
Yeah.
or you have people like full-time housewives that are like, I like Kyle's taking the responsibilities on her shoulders. She's now getting rid of her husband, gonna go date women, stopped drinking. Every single housewives, the Gorgas and the Judices finally decided
Oh.
to split. Like
Mm.
every single franchise, they brought Anna Kinkoas back on Miami to mess with Marisol and Alexia. Every single show is now deciding that they have to bring it. Summer House, they had that bad engagement at the
Shade,
end.
shade, shade. Yeah.
Everything.
Lots
And
of
not that's
shade.
shade. It's like they're like concocting these like nasty, crazy storyline decisions, and they're not doing. It's not produced because the people that it's being
Well,
done
because
to.
they genuinely don't like each other most of the
Yeah, but
time.
like for example, like if
It's
Monica
easy.
knew she was Von Teese, I
Yeah.
still believe some of the production knew, but the other women did not know. So it's like that's real.
Right. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, speaking of drama, did you see that Joe Gorga was evicted from his son's wrestling game
Not
match this
evicted, kicked
week?
out.
He got evicted. He got kicked
Kicked
out
out.
of
Yeah,
he
not
got
evicted.
kicked out of the gym.
For
He made
yelling?
an ass of himself. He
Yeah.
charged. You didn't see, did you see the
No.
video? Oh, I did. He was in the stands and a little it was Gino. Gino was getting pinned and then he tried to get out and the guy smashed him down back again. And Joe got up and lunged at, like went onto the mat like he was going to do something to the kid that was holding down a little Gino. I thought it was Joey, but I think it was Gino now.
I need to watch this
Yes.
video.
And then all the parents, of course, it happened in New Jersey. They're all screaming, get him out of here. Get him out of here. What's wrong with you? You don't go at some little high
This
school
isn't the
kid.
Real Housewives.
Yeah. And he got kicked out of,
Well, then
yeah.
you know what? Joe Gorga's our mess.
Joe Gorger is a mess. He went after the kid who was on who was wrestling his kid
Well,
at the
no
high
one
school.
on Beverly Hills was my mess this week, so I'm gonna
No, they
give it
were
to
all
Joe.
fine.
I'm gonna give it to Joe.
Joe, yeah, Joe Judice. I'm sorry, Joe Gorga, because Joe Judice is living his best life in the
I want to visit
Bahamas.
him. Let's go down there.
Oh, I would like that. I actually think he's in Italy for some reason this week. I think he has to go to Italy like once or twice a year and show up and get his passport stamped, and then he can go back to the Bahamas again. Because I saw him on the hill singing and dancing with Melania and the old uncle.
Oh, well, that's nice. Well, that's a great way to end it. So,
There you go.
anywho, love you guys. See you soon.